Hey everyone, this is Mr. Cine Hunter here. Today, we're diving into an action thriller film called Rat Disaster. So sit tight and let's begin this incredible journey. At the beginning of the movie, we see a man named Zheng at the railway station with his daughter Ting Ting and his 4-year-old son, preparing to travel to another city. On their way, Zheng asks Ting Ting, "How is your sister doing?" Ting Ting replies, "She hasn't been attending classes regularly for the past 2 months. Zheng responds, "I worked so hard to get her admitted to medical college, and now she's skipping classes like this? Just wait, I'll show her what real discipline is." Saying this, they all board the train together. At that moment, Zheng notices some soldiers from their country's army boarding the same train, accompanied by a beautiful young lady. Just then, the station master blows his whistle, signaling everyone to board quickly. In a rush, everyone hurries onto the train. As soon as everyone gets on the train, suddenly, another train arrives on the wrong track. Even though this train stops at the station, no one is seen getting off. Usually, when a train reaches the station, thousands of people disembark immediately, filling the station with a crowd. But from this train, not a single person steps out. After the train remains stationary for quite some time, several railway security personnel work together from outside and forcibly open the train doors. The moment the doors are opened, a fresh gush of blood and hundreds of dead hands emerge from inside. They realize that everyone inside the train is dead. Hearing the commotion caused by the security guards, Zheng peeks through the window to see what's happening. Unable to see anything clearly from his own window, he moves closer to another passenger's seat to get a better view. The person sitting there gets angry, grabs Zheng by the collar, and snaps, "Hey, you brat! Are you deaf or what? Can't you hear?" At that moment, Ting Ting rushes over. She pulls the man's hand away from Zheng and scolds him sharply. In response, he utters some obscene words and tries to lay a hand on Ting Ting. Just then, another man named Du comes from behind, grabs his hand, twists it forcefully, and holds it down firmly. The bad guy here was a member of a gang of robbers. Seeing the situation, the gang's leader stands up, pulls a gun from his pocket, points it at Du, and says, "He is my younger brother. Let him go." He didn't realize that he had made a mistake. In return, you can keep this money. However, Du refuses to accept any money and releases the robber's hand. After a while, their train starts moving again. Inside, the passengers begin chatting among themselves. "Have you heard? Nowadays, cats supposedly don't catch mice anymore. In fact, it's said that cats are starting to be afraid of the mice." At the same time, the robbers discuss their strategy, planning when and how they will rob the train passengers. Meanwhile, Ting Ting thanks Du for his help. After that, they get to know each other better. And from that moment on, Ting Ting begins to address Du as brother. Just then, Zheng suddenly recalls something and starts moving toward another compartment of the train. Meanwhile, Ting Ting and Du continue chatting with each other. As they talk, they suddenly hear a faint scurrying sound coming from above the train's ceiling. On the other hand, Zheng moves through the other compartments, looking at everyone one by one, as if he is searching for someone. At the same time, an army major who has boarded the train is talking with his fiancée, Ling, about their future wedding plans. Suddenly, Zheng appears and says to Ling, "Why are you here? Come with me." Saying this, he grabs her hand and tries to pull her away. Immediately, the soldiers present there seize Zheng. Major asks Ling, "Do you know this man?" Ling denies recognizing Zheng. Zheng grows even angrier and says, "I've been searching for you for the past 2 months, and now you say you don't know me?" Then the major orders his soldiers to capture Zheng and take him away. Obeying the command, the soldiers seize Zheng and lead him off. They lock him in a small room and handcuff him to keep him restrained. Zheng tries to explain, "I am the father of that girl," but the soldiers do not believe him. Instead, they laugh and mock him, saying, "Can a daughter ever deny her father? She is going to be our major's future wife. There's no way someone crazy like you could be her father." At that moment, they hear the screams of another person nearby. When the soldiers approach him, he immediately collapses to the ground, and swarms of rats start pouring out from his body. Then, from the sacks and boxes around them, several hundred more rats emerge and launch an attack on the 2 soldiers. Zheng somehow manages to grab the key lying on the floor and unlocks the handcuffs on his wrists. Then he shuts the door from the inside and escapes. Meanwhile, Inside the army compartment, there was an ordinary couple as well, hearing squeaking sounds of rats coming from the ceiling. The poor husband picks up a stick and begins poking at different parts of the ceiling. Suddenly, one strike hits a weak spot, and a section of the ceiling collapses. From the opening, hundreds of rats pour out and fall onto a man's body. Everyone in the room is gripped by terror, because these are no ordinary rats. They are a breed of mutated, flesh-eating rats that begin attacking people one by one. Seeing how dire the situation has become, the army chief orders everyone to move from that compartment to the next one. The major takes Ling with him and leaves the compartment for the adjacent one. Meanwhile, when Zheng tries to escape and return to his own compartment, he is horrified to see hundreds of rats devouring people right before his eyes. Zheng is stunned after seeing this horrifying scene. Thinking quickly, he avoids stepping on the floor and instead jumps from seat to seat and over boxes, somehow managing to cross the compartment by leaping his way through. Meanwhile, the soldiers also begin fleeing from one compartment to another, shouting, "Run! Run! The rats are coming!" Shortly after they leave, Zheng enters that compartment and urgently warns everyone, "The rats are coming! Get out of here quickly!" But the people laugh at him, calling him crazy. They say, "What's there to be afraid of rats? We can crush rats under our feet and kill them easily." Zheng returns to his own compartment. There, he warns everyone just as before, but they continue to mock and laugh at him. Ignoring their words, Zheng moves forward from that compartment with his son and Ting. Right after he leaves, a man suddenly rushes into the compartment. Within moments, thousands of rats swarm into the compartment. Inside the train, people rush from one compartment to another, desperate to save themselves. In the chaos, Zheng, Ting, and Du fall behind. As they try to escape, someone locks the door of a compartment, trapping the three of them, along with a few others, between two compartments. By then, the soldiers have reached the very front compartment of the train. Once there, the army chief locks the back door and orders the major to separate the remaining compartments. Hearing this, the major stands frozen in place for a moment. Ling tries to open the door, but the soldiers stop her. She breaks down in tears and pleads with the major, saying, "My father, brother, and sister are trapped inside. I'm begging you, please don't do this." But the major stands silently. Then the army chief speaks again in a stern voice. "This is my order, Major. Do it quickly." Reluctantly, the major obeys his superior's command and moves forward to separate the train compartments. Meanwhile, Du, Zheng, Ting, and several others are trapped between the two compartments, struggling and pushing at the door. Suddenly, Du discovers a way up to the ceiling. Using this path, he manages to help everyone escape one by one. In the meantime, the rats break through the door and rush inside. As a result, Zheng is unable to save the very last person, who falls and is killed by the rats. Then they all climb onto the roof of the train. At that very moment, the major severs the connection to the compartments behind. Du notices this and immediately jumps onto the roof of a moving compartment and tells the others to jump one by one. Zheng, carrying his son in his arms, struggles, but manages to jump and cling to the roof of the moving compartment. The entire train is now running with only 3 compartments. The 3 of them climb down from the roof and enter one of the compartments. Ling then starts crying uncontrollably, and when she sees her father Zheng, she lowers her head in shame. Inside the train, everyone starts shouting at the major. Suddenly, one of the robbers collapses unconscious from his seat. Ling was a medical college student. Seeing the wound on the man's neck, she informs everyone that he has been infected with Yersinia, a highly dangerous and contagious disease. She warns that anyone who has been bitten by rats must be quarantined immediately. Otherwise, even those who are still healthy will become infected and eventually die. The moment everyone hears this, panic spreads throughout the train. People begin checking their own bodies in fear. Ting examines her younger brother and discovers that a rat has bitten his hand as well. At the same time, Zheng realizes that his own son has also been infected. Within moments, the entire train erupts into chaos as frightened passengers start shouting in terror. Zheng then shouted, "No one needs to be afraid. I know the cure for this. I work for the health department of this province. Last month, we ordered medicine from England specifically for this disease. The medicines are supposed to be at the hospital in the next station. Once the train stops there, I can go and bring them." Hearing this, everyone on the train, including the robbers, started feeling relieved and happy. Meanwhile, The army chief shouts, draws his gun, and fires a warning shot into the air. Then he warns everyone, "This train will not stop here. The station where you plan to get off has been completely destroyed. I already have prior information about it. Stopping there would put our lives at risk." However, since one of the robbers has fallen sick, the entire group revolts. They pull out their guns, take the army chief hostage, and force him to give the order to stop the train. Lingling then tells everyone, "Since we will receive the medicine shortly, those who haven't been infected by the virus yet should all move to the next compartment. Those who are already infected will stay here. Otherwise, the virus will spread quickly." But no one pays attention to her words. Then the gang leader pulls out his gun and threatens everyone, forcing them to obey. One by one, the uninfected move to the next compartment, while Lingling stays behind with the infected. At that moment, Jung approaches her and says, "Don't you realize how dangerous this virus is? Why are you staying here? Come with us to the next compartment." But Lingling replies that she wants to help the infected. Jung responds, "Who will help you? You've grown up disobedient to me. All the blame lies with your mother. She spoiled you so much that you became defiant toward me." Lingling then shouts, "All your life, what have you ever done except slander my mother? You were never there for my mother in any of her struggles. When she was on her deathbed giving birth to our younger brother, you didn't come even once. You have no right to speak ill of her like this. The only reason I don't go home is because of your cruel behavior." Hearing this, Jung is stunned into silence. Then Lingling rushes over and sees that her younger brother's hand has been bitten by a rat. She takes her little brother into her arms and sits down with the infected, while Ting Ting takes their father and moves to the room with the uninfected. After a while, the next station comes into view, and as agreed, the train is brought to a stop. Du takes several explosives into his pocket. He then tells Jung that he wants to go with him. Hearing this, a few more people from behind agree to join Jung as well. As everyone is about to get off, the train driver says to Jing, "In my entire life, I have never altered the timing even by a single second. I will wait here for exactly 2 hours for you. Whether you return or not, after 2 hours, I must depart the train for everyone's safety." Hearing this, Du, Jung, and the others get off the train and head toward the hospital. At that moment, Ting Ting follows them from behind and tells Jung that she wants to go with them. However, Jeng refuses to take her along under any circumstances. Ting Ting pleads with him, saying that they lost their mother when they were very young, and that she cannot bear to lose Jeng the way they lost her. In the end, Jeng agrees to take her with him, and they set off together. When they all enter the city together, they realize that it has truly become a completely devastated zone. Corpses are scattered everywhere, nothing but bodies in every direction. As far as the eye can see, there is not even the slightest sign of a living human being. All those who died were infected by the virus, lying lifeless on the streets, their flesh already decaying and releasing a foul, unbearable stench. After barely making it through that sea of corpses, they reach an alley near the hospital and see thousands of rats in front of them. Everyone freezes in concern, but Jung notices something important. All the rats remain within the shadows, never stepping into the sunlight. He quickly realizes that this species of rats fears sunlight. So, avoiding the light, they cling to the pipes along the buildings and continue moving forward. Meanwhile, one of them falls to the ground, and the rats immediately swarm over him, devouring him within seconds. At the same time, a man, acting completely insane, suddenly bursts onto the train. When asked what has happened, he tells everyone that the entire city is dead and he is the only one left alive. The rats fear sunlight, but in its absence, they come out to attack and eat humans. Upon hearing this, everyone on the train panics and demands to leave before nightfall. However, the gang of robbers refuses, as one of their men has already been infected with the disease. Meanwhile, another companion of Jung falls and is immediately killed by the rats. At the same time, clouds cover the sky, blocking the sunlight, and they find themselves in even greater danger. After much difficulty, the four of them somehow manage to reach the hospital. However, while running, Du injures his leg badly. Once inside, Ting Ting lights a kerosene lamp, finds a bandage in the hospital, and carefully wraps Du's leg. While Jung is busy looking after Du, a member of the robbers who came with them starts exploring the hospital with another kerosene lamp. Suddenly, someone appears out of nowhere and begins attacking him. Jung and Du rush to stop him. The man then explains that he is extremely frightened. He has been trapped here for many days and, terrified of the rats, cannot bring himself to go outside. Jung tells him, "The medicine is right here in this hospital." Upon hearing this, the man joyfully runs into the inner room. The three of them follow him and, upon entering, see him reassuring his wife and child. "Nothing will happen to you. Do you hear? The medicine has been found. Both of you will recover very soon." Jung hurriedly says to him, "Help me find the medicine warehouse." The man lights a torch and leads the three of them into the warehouse. Inside, they find thousands of rats, but the rats are unable to approach them due to the fire from the torch. Meanwhile, the sky above the station is covered with clouds, and as evening approaches, the passengers inside the train begin shouting for it to depart. By then, the gang of robbers has also grown impatient. However, the train driver insists, "I promised that man I would wait for 2 hours. I have never gone back on my word in my entire life." Despite this, the robbers force him at gunpoint to agree to leave. Left with no choice, the driver orders his junior to start the train ahead of schedule. Upon receiving his senior's command, the junior driver moves into the adjacent compartment. By then, a heated argument breaks out between the army and the robbers inside the compartment. At that moment, a woman present there loses all hope for her own life and opens the door of the compartment. Instantly, thousands of rats swarm inside. In a desperate attempt to survive, many people rush out of the compartment, but no one manages to escape. Everyone outside is relentlessly attacked by the rats and begins to die within the station. From inside the infected compartment, the remaining people watch this horrific fate unfold through the windows. Meanwhile, Jung slowly steps into the medicine warehouse, puts the medicines for the disease into a steel container, and hands it to the man at the hospital. However, the man deceives them, locks the door from the outside, and escapes with the medicine. When they try to stop him, the fire they were carrying goes out. The noise of their escape alerts the rats, and they start charging toward them in swarms. Since the doors there are very old, they easily break them and escape. As they flee, they see the man sitting quietly with the medicine container in hand, while his son and wife lie dead beside him. It turns out that those he brings the medicine to save are already dead when he arrives. Jung grabs the medicine container from his hands, and everyone rushes out together. Even then, thousands of rats are chasing after them. As they flee, they spot an old hospital vehicle in front of the hospital. Ting Ting quickly jumps into the vehicle and starts driving it with everyone inside. Swarms of rats continue chasing them from behind, but fortunately, they somehow manage to escape from there. When they arrive at the station with the medicine, they see many people lying dead from rat bites. Believing that everyone has died, they stand there and begin to cry. Just then, the junior train conductor opens the door to the compartment holding the infected. Seeing that at least the infected are still alive, hope returns to Jung and Ting Ting's hearts. As Jung is about to board the train with the medicines, the army chief suddenly strikes him on the head and snatches the medicines from his hands. The army chief tries to escape with all the medicines, but at that moment, Du comes from behind, captures him, and attempts to retrieve the medicines. Meanwhile, the sky is completely covered with clouds, blocking the sunlight. Slowly, the rats begin moving toward the railway station. Du somehow fights the army chief and manages to return the medicines to Jung's hands. However, thinking that everyone has already boarded, the junior train driver quickly starts the train. Injured from the fight with the army chief, Du collapses at the station. Despite this, he keeps shouting to Jung, "Don't worry about me, hurry and get on the train." But Jung doesn't want to leave him behind. Meanwhile, the train moves forward, leaving the station behind. Swarms of rats rush straight toward the station. With no other choice, Jung is forced to run toward the train without Du. Ting Ting grabs his hand and pulls him onto the train. But Du, injured and unable to walk, falls behind. Before anyone can react, thousands of rats descend on Du, tearing his body apart. Even as he laughs, Du loses his life to the rats. Although the rats chase after the train, they ultimately fail to catch it. After that, Jung distributes the medicines to everyone. Ling Ling then injects the medicine one by one into those who were bitten by the rats. The infected passengers soon begin to feel a little better. However, after the train travels a short distance, the junior train driver is forced to stop it. Due to an accident involving another train, the track ahead has become blocked. Unless the disabled carriage is cleared from the railway line, it will be impossible for the train to move forward. but no one dares to step outside out of fear to remove the carriage. Left with no other choice, Zheng gathers his courage and goes out alone to try to move it. Ting Ting also comes after him to help move the carriage. But even together, the carriage is far too heavy for them to move. At that moment, Ling Ling scolds everyone inside the train, saying, "How can you all be so shameless? This man has risked his life twice to save you. Do you really think you'll survive just by sitting here? Once night falls, the rats will come back again." Hearing this, the people inside the train all rush together to help move the carriage. Meanwhile, in the distance, thousands of rats can be seen charging toward them from a nearby village. Seeing this, a member of the robber gang straps explosives all over his body and advances toward the rats. As soon as the rats get close, he detonates all the bombs on his body at once. Witnessing this, everyone pushes the carriage with all their strength, and within a short while, they manage to move it successfully. The horde of rats has now come extremely close. Everyone rushes and jumps onto the train. As soon as they are aboard, the junior train driver notices that the switch for changing the track is set in the wrong direction. He shouts to Zheng, warning him that the track switch is incorrectly positioned. Zheng immediately runs to fix it. Meanwhile, the train driver releases the brakes, and the train slowly begins to move forward. After Zheng flips the switch and starts running back to board the train, he notices that the switch has rusted from being unused for so long. As a result, it has automatically swung back. Once again, Zheng risks his life, holding the switch in place himself until the train passes that section. After the train safely crosses, he resumes running toward the back of the train to climb aboard. Ting Ting and Ling Ling see through the window that their father has not boarded the train yet. By then, the rats have come dangerously close to Zheng. Countless rats are chasing after him. Ting Ting and Ling Ling try to stop the train, but Zheng shouts, "Don't stop the train for me. Otherwise, everyone will die." After a while, Zheng can no longer run, and his speed gradually slows down. While running, he shouts to his two daughters, "Don't misunderstand me, my girls. I love you both very much. Perhaps I have caused you a lot of pain for no reason, so please forgive me." Saying this, he stops and bids farewell to his two daughters for the last time. Ting Ting and Ling Ling both cry their hearts out for their father. Meanwhile, from behind, the rats arrive and start devouring Zheng's entire body, and as a result, Zheng dies right there. Everyone on the train feels deep sorrow over Zheng's tragic death. Ling Ling and Ting Ting, lost in memories of their father, remain speechless as their train continues its journey in search of a safe place. So, what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe for more awesome content. I'll see you guys next time.